help women who feel hijacked by their emotions in narcissistic and toxic relationships, who can't find their way out, who don't know how to stop their body from freaking out, who want to just go home and have a normal conversation with someone and enjoy going home, not take the long way home, who want to stand up for themselves in relationships. That's who I help. Now, one of the things that happens is most women who are in narcissistic relationships or who have a hard time standing up for themselves, one of the reasons that is because they're empathic. Now, when someone is empathic, what it means is that they're more sensitive than most people to the emotions around them. So they can tell when someone's angry. They can tell when someone's hurt or disappointed. They can tell when somebody's hiding something. They can tell when someone's trying to point in another direction and not be upfront and authentic about what's going on. As an empath, you have an amazing ability to feel your way through the world, which is great. But on the flip side, it means that you get bombarded by everybody else's feelings. You get bombarded by people who broadcast their emotions in a big way. And narcissists are those kind of people. You have them at work. You have them as your boss, as your coworkers. You have them as your employees. You have them as people that you manage. You have them as people you collaborate with. Narcissism is on the rise. And narcissism is basically when someone is in fight or flight. And when they're in fight or flight, they use it to lash out or take it out or punish or be chaotic around people that they have power over. So it happens a lot. I mean, look at it. How often is it where someone takes advantage of the power that they have without caring about the other person? And when you live with them, when it's your mother or your father or your husband or your child, it's an even bigger deal. Because how are you supposed to defend yourself against someone who is supposed to love you, someone who has power over you? That's why there are those laws in place for workplace, how you don't get, what sexual harassment looks like, what domestic violence looks like, what emotional abuse looks like. Those things are out there so people can start to recognize that there needs to be something different. And this is where penguins come in today. So as an empath, I, and probably you, are someone who gets a lot of balance and peace and joy by being outside in nature. Because the rhythm of the earth, the rhythm of how the earth works, its energetic fields, the natural flow, the natural unfolding, those things are something which an empath can feel too. So they not only feel people's toxic emotions, they also feel the beautiful things in life. They're more tuned in. They're more tapped into nature, into what's going on, and into the seasons, and into how things grow and the animals. And it's very beautiful when you're able to really enjoy that side of being an empath. But what happens is most people get hijacked instead, and they spend their life spinning in circles with their mind going crazy, wondering why they can't enjoy their life, which they know they have the ability to. They look at the trees, they look at the air, and it's magical. And you wonder why nobody else sees it, and why everybody else goes around and just emotionally beats each other up. That's the temperament, that's the personality of an empath, of someone who has more of a healer nature, someone who's here to help people find love and connection in their life. And it's a blessing and it's a curse. So if you realize this is who you are, and you probably are if you're in some sort of codependent narcissist relationship, you have a high sensitivity, you have a high awareness to things that are around you, it's good to look to nature for guidance. So one of my totems, one of my favorite animal signs or animal friends or spirits or helpers or whatever you want to call them is the penguin. I have penguin pajamas. I've got penguin bathrobes. I've got penguins all over the place. I love them because they make me happy and they speak to me in a very magical way. Penguins tell us that we have to dream a new reality. Penguins have the ability to dive into the water, and when they're in the water, They are acrobatic geniuses, just like empaths. When they're in the emotions, they have the ability to swim and flow and see and work with, and so do empaths. The problem is that empaths typically get hijacked by the drama of everybody else around them, even when there's nothing wrong with them. Even when a codependent, empathic sort of woman knows that life is beautiful, she still gets hijacked by the emotions of people around her, especially emotions of people who are a little bit unstable, a little bit unbalanced, let's say, like narcissism is. It's a very dramatic version of life. And you as an empath are probably colorful, but not destructive like a narcissist can be. So penguins teach us how to enjoy being in the emotions. And it teaches us that. It teaches us how to navigate in that world that has always seemed so overwhelming and so confusing. It teaches you to start to dream something new, to start to create the world that you want to live in, to start to look forward instead of feeling like you're always behind the eight ball, and look at the world that you want to live in, the life that you want to have. And so when we look at penguins and we look at their open, loving nature, just like empaths, when we look at their playful ideas and how they swim and fly through the water, it's beautiful to watch something like that, and how they're curious and interested. That's an empath. That's you. And when you can stay in that place of happiness and joy and peace and penguin medicine, you're able to get your way out of the darkness you're in right now. Because if you're in a toxic relationship, if you're in a relationship with a narcissist in any way, then what's happening is you're getting hijacked. And a penguin, that penguin medicine, that ability to dream, that ability to look beyond yourself, to start to learn how to swim in the emotions instead of being overwhelmed by them. When you learn that, that's when you become into your real genius. That's when you become the leader that you've wanted to be for a long time. Because you have to have a sense of playfulness. You have to have a sense of freedom. You have to have a sense of being in your body and enjoying it. And when you start to do that, when you start to put those feelings first, when you start to put what matters to you first, what will create a beautiful life for you, just like the penguin does, your life starts to get better. Because the key thing isn't staying in a place of reacting to a narcissist. The key thing is coming back to yourself and discovering who you are, what matters to you, how much you love life, how much life loves you back, and learn how to swim in the emotions instead of being overwhelmed by them. I know a lot of people are anxious and scared and struggling right now, and that's a hard place to be in, which means that it's time to get back in touch with nature, back in touch with your roots, and become playful. Because you're not going to solve the problem by worrying about it. You're not going to solve the problems by engaging or being a part of it. The problem gets solved when you start to authentically enjoy your life. And the more you enjoy your life, the easier life goes. And the more you make choices to enjoy your life, the smoother your relationships go. So I want you to think today about penguins and put them out there, vision them, watch them walking around, and remember how playful they are. Remember how you can be playful too, because that's what penguin medicine teaches us, how to be playful, how to enjoy being in that emotional world we live in, and how to put yourself first so that you can be the leader that you've always been meant to. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm sure the presidential election will be decided, hopefully, by Monday. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of such a beautiful group of women. I'll talk to you later, okay?